For 10 years, my family called my company a hobby while pouring every dollar into my sister's medical degree. Then at my brother's graduation dinner, I slid the deed of a paid-off condo across the table to him instead of her, and watched my parents' secret plan to drain my bank account collapse in front of everyone. I'm Melissa Carter, 34, and this story starts on a night I was buried in blankets, sick with the flu when my mother called. Her voice was crisp, businesslike. "Your sister's final tuition payment is due," she said. "We're a bit tight. Just the last chunk, $20,000. I told her that wasn't tight. That was a down payment. She snapped back. "Don't exaggerate. This is Vanessa's future, not your little app thing. Surely that online project of yours has spare cash. That little app thing was a company I'd built from a garage at 24. By now it employed 15 people, ran out of a 20,000 square foot warehouse, and shipped to 30 countries. To them, it was still a joke next to my sister's white coat. I told my mother I couldn't spare the cash. It was a lie, but I needed the boundary more than the truth. She hung up cold. Minutes later, my sister texted calling me greedy. Then her fiancé Derek chimed in too, warning me not to make things messy. That word stuck with me. Messy. It wasn't one angry text. It was 3 people hitting me within hours, like a coordinated push. So I called my financial advisor, Monica, and asked her to quietly check my parents' finances. And my sister's records, too. Her report landed the next day like a bomb. My parents had remortgaged their house 2 years earlier and taken out 3 more loans. Nearly $400,000 total, all co-signed by my sister, pledging her future income as collateral. The tuition payment wasn't tuition at all. It was already paid. This money was just to survive the interest and avoid default. And there was more. My father had been formally censured years earlier for pushing bad investments on elderly clients. His license barely survived. His income didn't. My sister's future paycheck had become his last lifeline. Worse, buried in her academic records were grading irregularities. Exam answers matching other students. If exposed, her entire degree could collapse. They weren't supporting family. They were mining me for parts and using my sister's future as the drill. I didn't wait for them to make the first move. I texted my father, offering to meet at his office. He called me sweetheart, still thinking I was soft. In his office, surrounded by photos of my sister and none of me, he pitched a family fund. "Pool our resources," he said, starting with clearing her debt. I asked him plainly, "You want my profits to pay her loans?" He winced, then insisted, "Family supports family." I told him there was a problem. My company wasn't his to access. 80% sat in an irrevocable trust, built for growth only, untouchable by anyone, including me on a whim. His face went pale. He accused me of going behind his back. I reminded him he'd never once respected my work enough to advise me on it. He threatened to turn my brother against me. I told him to go ahead and tell the truth, that I protected my company from the mess he'd made of his own life. That night, I called a broker and bought my brother Marcus a condo. Cash. His name only, near his new job. He'd spent his whole life quietly overshadowed by our sister's glow, never asking anyone for anything. If one person in that family deserved a gift with no strings, it was him. The voicemails came fast after that. My mother sobbing about ingratitude. My sister screaming that I was jealous and hiding money. Derek warning me to undo the trust or he'd turn my brother against me. I saved every message as proof. At Marcus's graduation dinner, my mother raised her toast to Vanessa, our future doctor, sidelining my brother's night, as always. I stood up, agreed families should support each other, then slid the folder across the table to Marcus. Deed to a condo, paid in full, his name only. The table went silent. My father hissed under his breath. That money was supposed to go to her loans, confirming everything in front of everyone. I laid it all out calmly. The $500,000 in debt, the censure, the grading anomalies threatening my sister's degree. My mother screamed. My sister went white. My father slammed the table. Marcus opened the folder, looked up with wet eyes, and asked if it was all true. Then he walked out. I followed, and for the first time, someone in that family asked if I was okay. The fallout came fast. My parents defaulted and lost the house. My father's license was revoked completely. My mother's reputation evaporated. My sister was expelled from her residency once the cheating surfaced, and with ruined credit ended up in a low-paying rural clinic, chained to debt for decades. Derek left her within weeks. One text came from my mother months later. "Your father's ill. Help us." I blocked the number. Today I sit in my office, looking over the empire they spent 10 years dismissing as a hobby. No shadows left behind me. Just what I built, finally protected, finally mine. The end.